So because of not abiding by the instructions of the Lord, what happened is that the demons had to face so much agony, so much misery. This is the point. In fact, we can see modern day man is expert at rejecting the plan of the Lord, and therefore making out arrangements by his own whims and fancies. Modern day mankind is expert in doing that, defying the authority of the Lord, defying the plan of the Lord, and trying to work out his own way. Modern day man is so expert in that. But because of that, what happens is that modern day mankind has increased the quotient of his suffering multifold. So it is not Lord who has given the problems and the sufferings, but it is the modern day mankind who at every step opposes the plan of the Lord, and because of that opposition and rejection, there is acute misery and suffering in one's life. That's what we can see actually. Just like Srila Prabhupada went to Geneva, and Srila Prabhupada at this time saw that there are thousands and thousands of acres of land which is available in Geneva. But there, unfortunately, there is only tobacco cultivation going on. The only agriculture going on there is tobacco. And Prabhupada felt so sorry. Prabhupada said, you see, there are thousands and thousands of acres of land here. And Prabhupada said, is tobacco something to be grown? Prabhupada said, will the world die of tobacco or will the world die of cereals and vegetables? So therefore, Prabhupada would say, and Prabhupada would quote an agriculturist who would say that, yes, Mother Earth has a capacity that Mother Earth can feed 10 times the world population today, 10 times of today's world population. But why is there food crisis? Why is there shortage? That shortage is not because of the arrangement of the Lord. That shortage is because of the greed, man's greed. In today's date, there are countries that produce so many grains that they have to throw in the ocean. They cannot consume it. So excess surplus grains are thrown in the ocean, and there are other countries which are where most of the people are below poverty line, not getting proper fooding as well. Are the cases of malnutrition and so on. The greed, the opposing the Lord's plan. The field is meant to grow food grains, but mankind, owing to his own greed, he wants to grow tobacco because that gives greater money, like that. So therefore, we see that there is this crisis. So we will see that all these modern ways of technology are actually enhancing the crisis. So because of this technology, there are mechanized slaughterhouses which can slaughter thousands of cattle in one go. Within a matter of few minutes, thousands of cattle can be slaughtered. They're mechanized slaughterhouses. They're running on machines, automated machines, and all that. Very, very costly. One day, mankind has done this. They want to do the genetic engineering and all that. The biotechnology and the genetic engineering and all. So they want to produce vegetables or fruits, which show the best properties, external properties. Like if you go to the market, you will find that there are the whole season, say apple is available like that, and the apple looks so terribly captivating. It is so lush red. It looks so terribly. Why? Because the pigment engineering, the pigment is engineered in such a way that it gives the green color, not green, red color, lush red color. But you buy it as 200 rupees kg, 300 rupees kg, and so on. And you put an apple in the mouth, and there's no juice. There is no juice. It sounds like it tastes like as if it tastes like cotton. No juice actually. So this is what happens with that. With all this hybrid kind of bioengineering actually. And another part of bioresearch is to make chickens which can have more flesh and less wings. You know, man's mind is working in so many crooked ways to somehow or the other squeeze out enjoyment from material nature by exploiting every possible nook and corner. We're playing with nature, exploiting every possible nook and corner of Mother Nature, and therefore one should be ready for the consequences. Therefore, one should be ready for the consequences. So here the demons, they did not follow what the Lord said, and therefore the demons have to suffer. Demons have to suffer. See, this itself is like an alarm which the Lord raised, for the demons that you better follow. If you no, if you don't follow, there is mercy available for you. But only if you follow, you will receive the mercy. Otherwise, the mercy spills out. By rejecting, we are spilling out, kicking off the mercy actually. The mother brings a glass of milk, for the nourishment of the child. The child, kicks it off. Then who is the loser? Not the mother, but the child. And therefore, you will see the demons are the losers always. It's not that Krishna is not giving mercy to them. He's bringing the glass of milk. But they are not ready to accept. Is it not? They are not ready to accept. Like Srila Prabhupada one time he said, that what is this modern day, technological advancement? You can make bombs and kill people and make them die. You can make biological weapons, chemical weapons, and all that make people die. But can you give life to people? So the whole directionality is questionable because the directionality is wrong, and therefore it is not coming to anybody's benefit. The directionality, the true directionality comes when we take Shanagati of the Supreme Lord. Then every move becomes meaningful and powerful. Every single move becomes very meaningful and powerful. This is the point to note. This is the point to note. Now again the churning started. And the churning was going on. Again the churning started and the churning was going on. The churning was going on. And nothing was coming out still. And nothing was coming out still. The churning was progressing and nothing was coming out, nothing was coming out, nothing was coming out. And the Lord was inspiring. The Lord was inspiring the Devatas by increasing the mode of goodness in their hearts. So the Devatas were becoming enthused because although Devatas also had an element of passion, the fruit of mentality, but the Lord was enhancing their goodness, in their hearts. So they were seeing this activity more and more like a service to Krishna. The Lord inspired the demons by increasing the passion element in their heart. So they were becoming more and more aggressive and passionate about getting the nectar. So they were churning. And the Lord inspired Vasuki by increasing the ignorance element in his heart. So Vasuki was coming into more and more ignorance. So Vasuki was having a greater and greater sleep. Why? Because if he keeps sleeping, he will not realize what is being done to his body. Just imagine, And if he is not intoxicated and drunk or sleepy state, and if he really understands what people are doing to his body, mind it, he's a Vasuki, he's a powerful snake. So in that way, the Lord was inspiring all of them. But even though the churning was going on, still nothing was coming out. Finally, the Lord himself came And the Lord went on the side of the demigods, and the Lord started himself churning along with the demigods and the demons. He was on the demigod side and he started churning. When the Lord started churning, the Lord himself came to start churning. Then only you will see that the things, various kinds of things started coming out. So thus, the churning of the milk, right? Different things were coming out. The first thing which came out was halahal, poison. The poison came out. Now one may say, oh, for this we were endeavoring so hard. The poison. Hi, what is this? It's poison. For this you were working so hard. Poison. And this was a very condensed form of poison, very deadly poison. This deadly poison had the power to actually kill the entire universe. And the poison started expanding all of the universe, the whole universe, all species of life. Everybody was doing trahi. Everybody was running hither and thither. There was such a global crisis which had taken place. There was such a global crisis which had taken place. And it was the halahal. Oh, everybody could see that their death is now. It's death time. And the Devatas are taking shelter of Lord Vishnu. Calling out for the mercy of the Supreme Lord. And the Lord beckoned Lord Shiva to solve the problem. So Lord Vishnu, he beckoned Lord Shiva to solve the problem. So Lord Shiva came on the scene. So Lord Shiva, by his powers, he condensed all that halahal, all that poison in his palms. In his palms, he condensed all that poison. And then Lord Shiva, in front of everyone, lo and behold, Lord Shiva, he drank the poison. He drank the poison because drank the poison and kept it in his throat. And because of that, actually, his throat became bluish. And therefore, Lord Shiva is called as Nilakantha Mahadev. Lord Nilakantha, because he took the problems of the entire universe and held it in his throat. So Lord Shiva was demonstrating that this is the Vaishnav, a true devotee of the Lord. He takes everybody's problems and drinks it to help and alleviate the problems of others. This is a Vaishnav. This is his heart, to serve everyone, to take everybody's problem and take it up. This is the Vaishnav. And therefore Lord Shiva is called as the topmost Vaishnav. Vaishnava Nam Yatha Shambhu. So Lord Shiva, Lord Shambhu. In fact, the Rudra Sampradaya comes from Lord Shiva. One of the Vaishnava Sampradayas, the Rudra Sampradaya comes from Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva drank the poison. To save humanity, to help humanity. For the sake of everyone. This is the heart of a Vaishnava. So the devotees are like that, the pure devotees are like that. In the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we see Prahlad Maharaj. Srila Prahlad Maharaj is praying to Lord Narasimhadev. Prahlad Maharaj is telling, oh Lord, I am not worried about myself. I know that I am taking shelter of you, I am remembering you, I am worshipping you. But I am not worried about myself. I am worried about the fallen conditioned souls. I am worried about all these fallen conditioned souls. And they are not surrendering to you. They are suffering. They are not surrendering to you. They are suffering so badly. How will they be delivered? That is my constant worry and anxiety. That is my constant worry and anxiety. This is Prahlad Maharaj. Therefore, when Prahlad Maharaj appeared again in Lord Chaitanya Leela as one of his associates called Vasudev Datta Thakur. And as his associates, Vasudev Datta Thakur, Prahlad Maharaj himself is praying to Lord Chaitanya, oh Lord, I am not able to see the sufferings of the universe. So please take all of them back to Godhead And if you say that, oh, they are not qualified to go back to Godhead, you give all their sins to me and let me suffer in hell for eternity, but take all of them back to Godhead. This is the mood of a Vaishnava. This is the mood of a devotee of the Lord. So therefore, Lord Shiva had drunk that halahal and he became Nilakantha. Acharyas explain that what is the meaning of the poison coming out of the churning. So Acharyas explain that this is that many times when we start churning, we are expecting something divine to come out. The first thing which comes out is poison. Why? Because it is the poison and it is the dirt which has been stored in the heart of a materialistic person. So when we churn our hearts by the practice of yoga, by the practice of spirituality, initially we may interface the same kind of test. And all the anarthas, the vices, they may get activated. They may they surface up. They surface up. So Srila Prabhupada explains this. And just like a very, very dirty room, it has not been cleaned, washed since years have passed, like that. If you go in the room, it will feel like, okay, normal, not a big problem. A little bit dirty, that's okay. We will be able to clean it in 10 minutes. But when you start cleaning, then you will see how much dust, dust and dust and dust. The whole room is filled with dust. It is so dirty, it has not been cleaned for decades. So you may say, अरे previously the situation was better. कम से कम सांस तो ले पा रहे थे, है ना? अभी इतना धूल 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 धूल, कुछ दिखाई भी नहीं दे रहा है, कुछ, the smell, the no, everywhere this dirt, The previous scene was better. We were better off before we started brewing or cleaning. So the point to note is that yes, when the brooming starts and the whole atmosphere is filled with dust, but that is not a negative sign. That is a positive sign. That all this dust is getting eradicated. So what one has to do? Keep up the enthusiasm and tolerate. Is it not? So actually, what happens is that when we, on a materialistic note, the various anarthas, the lust, pride, anger, greed, envy, illusion, all these anarthas, they are very deeply stored in the heart. So layer after layer, they get stored and embedded in the heart. And layer after layer, they get stored in the heart. So it appears as if not much is there. Like in the superficial layer, one may just see a little bit of anarthas. One may say, ये तो wash off हो जाएगा फटाफट, 2-4 महीने में हो जाएगा भक्ति करने से. But then you do bhakti, what happens? That small layer, superficial layer gets washed off, epithelial layer, it gets washed off. लेकिन उसके नीचे पूरी दुनिया है. And after that there is a layer of illusion, and below the layer of illusion, वो एक mountain है, एक ocean है उस अनर्था का, lying. Just like पृथ्वी की एक tectonic layer के नीचे फिर there is water which is lying or oil which is lying, deep. वो एक layer है oil का, उसको पार किया, there is another layer, उसके नीचे फिर से oil is there or water is there and so on. So this is the point, that these anarthas, mountains and mountains of anarthas are lying, and then one works on those anarthas, somehow or the other that layer has got rid of, अभी खत्म नहीं हुआ है. There is another layer of illusion, उसके नीचे covering है एक, उसके नीचे even bigger mountain of anartha is there. So our hearts are filled with anarthas, mountains and mountains of anartha after anartha. So now what happens is that when we start the practice of Krishna consciousness, everything gets flared up. It starts surfacing up. Because it starts surfacing up, we start getting troubled. So what to do? Don't give up brooming and don't mind the trouble. Is it not? Just tolerate. Just tolerate for some time. Very soon you will be able to see the cleanliness all around. Things start getting cleaned all around. That is the point. So therefore some devotees experience, they feel that, oh, Prabhuji, I after starting to chant, sometimes I feel I'm becoming more angry, I'm becoming more lusty, So that kind of thought comes. Previously one never thought about how much lusty and angry he is. So therefore, one feels that nobody measures previously, is it not? And how much lusty, how much angry one is it not? No, nobody measures. People think that I am just all right and upright. I am the most upright fellow. Is it not? After James Bond, not 7, my name has to come. People feel like that. But after coming to Krishna consciousness, one actually starts to see his anarthas, see his fallacies. And then he can measure his fallacies. And then he gets to know, oh, so much is there. पहले नहीं था. पहले आपने measure ही नहीं किया था, है ना? Is it not? तो सारा गुड़ गोबर पहले का ही है, लेकिन पहले आपको होश ही नहीं था. अभी तो होश आया है बाबू. Is it not? Then what to do? Go on churning. Go on churning. This dirt will go away. So therefore, don't mind the poison. Don't stop the churning. Continue the churning. Is it not? और में सारे कब तक churning करना है? कब तक churning करना है? Till you develop pure love for Godhead. Is it not? Till you enter the spiritual world, you can keep on churning the heart, churning the heart. Is it not? All that which is superficial, all that which is an amalgamation, which is a contamination, will get washed off. That is this powerful process of bhakti. So that manthan of bhakti should go on. Actually, the churning should go on. Churning should go on. So this Leela is showing us these amazing lessons actually. And now the churning is at its full peak. The Lord is himself there, churning the Vasuki. Everybody is aiming for the nectar. And yes, the poison phase is gone and the churning further resumes. Innumerable products are going to come out of the churning. Fascinating, captivating. Many episodes are going to happen. Unbelievable adventure, an unbelievable course of events like that. Who is finally going to get the nectar? Are the demons being simply cheated? Are the demons going to take away the nectar? Are the demigods going to get some share? Who will be the actual winner? Is the Lord going to now drive it further by further incarnations? What all valuable gems of lessons this pastime is going to teach us further. All that and much more we will see in our next class. So we'll pause here and we'll continue the Samudra Manthan Leela in our next class. Hare Krishna. Do any of you have any questions? So this is a very beautiful pastime, and we can meditate on this pastime. So many wonderful lessons we can learn from this actually, and we'll see actually further. The further 4 lessons which will come in the next class. And it is so amazing. This pastime is so nectarine and so amazing. Okay, so we'll stop here. Think about it. If you have questions, get back to us. Hare Krishna.